Has this ever happened to you? You start something new, a new diet, a new workout plan, new intentions, and you start off strong. You set these big goals and you feel so excited. But before long, you lose momentum and motivation. You bit off more than you could chew, tried to do too much. And in the end, nothing comes from all those good intentions. That's all they are, only good intentions. Well, today I want to share the secret of 1% with you. How small changes done consistently can lead to incredible results. And this applies to every area of your life, your health, finances, spiritual life, and relationships. Welcome to the Live Light podcast with me, Janine Bevolo-Manders. I'm really excited about what we'll be chatting about today. It's a privilege to spend this time with you. May what we talk about today be meaningful to you, something practical you can apply, and who knows, maybe even share with someone else who needs to hear it. If we had to turn your habits into a movie today and screen it on a big white screen, what would it look like? Would it be an inspiring story, a feel-good watch, or more of a drama? Maybe even a thriller. I can already picture the film playing in your mind. Some of you are probably smiling, and for others, there might be a little anxiety on your face. Is that true? If you had to choose one habit you want in your life, what would it be? And if you had to kick one out, which one would that be? Maybe give yourself a moment to think about it. You can even pause the video here if you maybe need some time. I want to talk to you about the difference that habits make in a person's life. You and I are the sum of our habits, what we do every day. And I want to share the striking fact with you. If we improve just one small thing every day and stick with it, it can lead to transformative change in our lives. Our usual approach to change or self-improvement is to set a big goal and to try to make giant leaps to reach it in as short a time as possible. While that sounds good in theory, it can often lead to burnout, frustration, and failure. Have you ever had a goal you dived into with all your might, but before long you threw your hands in the air and said, "This is too hard. I can't keep it up. It's not working"? I'm thinking about diets immediately. You say on a Monday morning, "I'm going to eat healthy." And you sit with your salad bowl full of fear and longing for your slice of pizza from Saturday night. By Wednesday, you're arguing with the fridge about why chocolate should count as a vegetable. After all, it does come from cocoa beans, right? What about exercise? You start off with, "I'm going to run 5 kilometers every day." Day 1, you feel like a running legend. Day 2, you're on a stretcher. Day 3, I've always felt like yoga is more my vibe, with built-in rest days, obviously. What about saving money? You try to save 10 Rand per day. At the end of the month, you think, if I open the savings jar now, I can finally fulfill that big dream and buy a medium-sized latte. Or maybe learning a skill. You plan to practice guitar every day until you realize you're just playing the same 3 chords because your fingers just hate you. You go to plan B. You become a master of the 3-chord boogie. The secret of 1%. Have you heard of it? It's easy to underestimate the value of small changes and the impact of slightly better decisions every day. Sticking to the basics may not be flashy, and getting 1% better every day probably won't make the headlines, but over time, it will make a difference. Zig Ziglar said, "Motivation just gets you going, but habit gets you there." This quote reminds us that while motivation helps us start, it's habits that lead to lasting success. Let me tell you what happened with the British cycling team in 2003. Until then, Great Britain didn't have much to boast about in terms of their national cycling team. From 1908 to 2003, only one Brit had ever won a golden medal in Olympic cycling. And in 110 years, no British cyclist had ever won the Tour de France. The team was doing so poorly that a top European bicycle manufacturer refused to sell bikes to them, fearing it would hurt their brand if people saw British riders using their gear. Everything changed when they hired Dale Brailsford as their new performance director. What set him apart was his relentless commitment to a strategy called marginal gains. His idea was simple. If you break down everything you can think of that goes into cycling and then improve each aspect by just 1%, you'll see a significant overall improvement when you put it all together. They started with small things. They redesigned the bike seats for comfort, rubbing alcohol on the tires for better grip, electrically heated shorts to keep muscles at optimal temperature, and using biofeed sensors to track responses to training. They tested various materials in wind tunnels and switched from outdoor to indoor race suits that were lighter and more aerodynamic. And they didn't stop there. They tested different massage gels for faster recovery. They taught riders how to wash their hands properly to avoid colds, figured out the best pillow and mattresses for each rider, and even painted the inside of the team truck white to spot dust particles that could affect bike performance. Within just 5 years, the British team dominated the cycling events at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, winning 60% of the gold medals. In 2012, at the London Olympics, they broke 9 Olympic records and 7 world records. That same year, Bradley Wiggins became the first British rider to win the Tour de France. The next year, Chris Froome won it, and then again in 2015, 16, and 17. Between 2007 and 2017, the team won 178 world championships, 66 Olympic and Paralympic gold medals, and 5 Tour de France titles. Widely considered the most successful decade in cycling history. How does this happen? How do you take a group of average athletes and turn them into world champions? Well, by proving that small changes, barely noticeable at first, can make a massive difference over time. The maths is this. If you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you'll be 36% 7 times better by the end of the year. On the flip side, if you get 1% worse each day, you'll shrink down to almost nothing. What starts as a small win or setback adds up over time. Now it is your turn. What is your 1%? When you're done listening, take a quick moment right there where you are and think, where in my life do I most want to improve just 1%? And write it down. Something happens when we write things down instead of just thinking them. Studies show that people who write down their goals are 62% more likely to achieve them. Because writing sends a signal to the brain to make and go to action. Just think. If you do that for a year, you'll be 37% better than you are right now. How to apply that 1%? What's one tiny change you can start with today? Something so simple, it sounds too easy, you can barely say no to it. But if you do it consistently, it can bring huge results over time. Yeah, or maybe just a few ideas to maybe get you thinking. Maybe in the area of your health. What about just drinking 1 extra glass of water daily? Or maybe swap 1 sweet snack for a fruit or a veggie. Or go for a 10-minute walk after dinner. Go to bed 15 minutes earlier. What about the area of spiritual growth? Maybe spend 5 minutes in quiet in God's presence. Just 5 minutes. Read 1 Bible verse a day. You don't have to read a whole chapter. What about just 1 verse and just reflect on it? Start a gratitude journal. Just write down 1 thing you are grateful for a day. What about your relationships? Send an encouraging message to someone you care about. Ask someone how their day was and really listen. Give a sincere compliment. Maybe put your phone down for 10 minutes and just be present. What about personal growth? Read 1 page of a book per day. 1 page. Maybe you're saying, I'm not really a reader. I don't like reading. But what about 1 page? I bet when you get to the end of 1 page, you'll be so anxious and curious to see what happens on the next page. Write 1 thought or goal in a journal. Replace 1 negative thought with a positive one. Listen to a 5-minute podcast that inspires you. Well, now it is your turn. What is your 1%? What small step can you take today to move closer to the person you want to become? The principle, remember, doesn't just work for championship teams. It works for your unique journey as well. The principle works if you apply it. So write it down, share it with a friend, but most importantly, just start. Small, consistent steps lead to big transformation. A final thought. Enjoy the journey. The outcome is guaranteed if you apply the principle, because application is everything. Enjoy the journey, and I'm excited with you. Remember, don't postpone your happiness by saying, I'll be happy when I lose 5 kilograms, or I'll be happy when I've completed the project. Why doesn't it work? It doesn't work because when you reach that goal, the moment you reach that goal, the goalposts get shifted and you have to reach something different. So you will never be happy when you reach that goal, because the posts always get shifted. I want to encourage you to enjoy the journey. Just enjoy the journey. We often ask the question, what is the best part of a journey? Is it the beginning or the end? Well, the best part of any journey is the company. The people that are journeying with you, that are on the journey with you, that are really making it worthwhile with you. So just be happy in the moment. That's the most important. And enjoy every minute. I'm sending you love and peace and blessings. Till next time.